Hi, you guys. 24 hours since creating a new Indeed to bypass the bugs that are on Indeed, the hacking or whatever's going on over there, which I don't really know what exactly is going on, if it's algorithm bias or what it could possibly be. But after following the advice of this specific AI tool that you see on the screen, I was able to get an interview after basically being stuck. It was like a door opened. It's incredible the results that I actually had. And then I had one other employer contact me, asking me how my experience was relevant to the job. So they basically had me write them back like a brief, uh, you know, letting them know how and why I wanted the job and how I was qualified and so on. So I have people now reaching out to me instead of crickets. I now have people actually returning calls, trying to get a hold of me. And it's not just the small business owners, it's actually businesses. So I wanted to basically let you guys know that it works, okay? And this is all that I asked this AI. I said, I need you to tell me some points about why it's better to create a new Indeed. And what happened was that after that, it gave me these points. It told me that sometimes there's technical glitches on the platform. Second, it told me that it improves job application tracking. Third, it told me that updates your professional image. Then, fourth, and told me it avoids algorithm confusion. And then fifth, it said for security and privacy reasons. And if you didn't watch my video from the last time, I actually yesterday had encountered a scam, and went and reported it to the company that I thought I was applying to. I called them and I was like, hey, I just got this message from HR and it just seems odd because it's asking me to check yes or no whether I receive like SNAP benefits, if I've received SSI, if I've received um, like if I have a disability, to self identify my disability. And it's saying that this is mandatory in order to basically get this job. And I had taken like like hundreds of these types of surveys, and I was like, it just doesn't seem right that this is mandatory. And I just kept feeling like something was off. And finally I just reached out to them, and they basically told me that no, this wasn't even them. They don't know what is going on with Indeed. And apparently, they hadn't even posted on Indeed, which was even more terrifying and scary. But yes, be careful out there because it's just scary. It's getting scary out there. But it avoids algorithm confusion, and it also avoids the algorithm bias. And the other thing that I did when I created my new account was that I did not share with it my race. So I did not share with it my race. I said I do not wish to answer, and I do not wish to share my results with Indeed about my demographics. So instead of me sharing my results with Indeed, I decided not to. And I've always been of the idea that I should share it because if somebody didn't like me because of my race, well, then they should know so that they shouldn't, like waste their time trying to hire me. But then again, after speaking with the AI, it told me that's not really my problem because I have rights and I'm covered under certain rights, and I shouldn't be worried about those things because really those people are not necessarily allowed to be thinking that way when they're hiring people and doing business transactions that fall under the category of state laws. And so for that reason, I went through and I did not share my demographic results with Indeed, and I also just didn't even share them after the end of an application, actually, not after the end, but at the end, there is a section that will ask you what are your demographics. I just went through and checked. They do not wish to answer. You will do that. Don't share your demographics. The second thing that it had me do was that I was on a different chat page than this one. I'm just showing you this one because this chat page correlates to the one from yesterday. But after I had basically created the new account, and the new account was onboarding me into the system of Indeed, what happened was that I went through and I selected only one um, most desired job. And instead of going through and filling out for 10 different ones, which it makes you do, and it also makes you do that every single time that you log back in to the system, which I've always been extremely like irritated by that, because I'm like, you're wasting so much of my time by doing that, right? It wastes so much of my time to go through and have to do that every single time I log in. But I don't know why Indeed does this, but it does. So what happened was that I went back in there, deleted my old account, I created a whole new account, and um, I only selected my most desired job. When it got me through the part where it was going to ask me about my race and all of that, when I seen that coming, what I did was that I hit the back button so that the system would only register me into one category as like the section of the job that I'm looking for. So I hit back button and it reloaded on the page, and instead of taking me back to the beginning of that process, it just reloaded the page, but it loaded me into the actual system, but only categorized me into one section, which would be my most desired job that I wish to have. So my results were completely different. And because my results, oh my God, this thing keeps doing this. And because my results were completely different, I basically ended up um, getting completely different situation. Okay. So my results were completely different, and I got a completely different algorithm. I didn't share my race with it. So now the algorithm bias can't basically blacklist you in the system just because you are, Hispanic, or, you know, uh, Native American, or African American, or whatever it is. In my case, I don't really know what I am. I know this sounds weird, but I am technically kind of sort of Hispanic in a way, yes. And at the same time, I have indigenous. When I went to go do my DNA test, I have indigenous ancestry. Okay, so I have indigenous from North America. Okay, North American indigenous, which is, I guess it's not the same as Native American, but since it's a branch of Native American, I sometimes put it in there because I'm like, technically I am. So I don't really know what my race is because they don't even create a box when in those sections for me to actually check a box. And now they've started to put this whole thing where it will say white, not Hispanic. And then it was, I don't know why they want to target Hispanic people so hard and so bad, but they do. And it will say like white, not Hispanic, black, not Hispanic, um, Native American, not Hispanic. And that one, I'm going to say I'm speculating and allegedly, but that is the application for Home Depot. Just so you know. you know, real racist, but oh well. Um, so here we have it. The other thing that I did was I didn't self-identify, because they will have you self-identify if you have a disability, and that was the other thing. Like, for example, when I had checked, like, if you check that you have like ADHD or whatever. And the thing is that the reason why I put that I will not self identify anymore was because the definition has changed now. So when they tell you to self identify, they give you a yes or no box. And if you read now the description, it used to give you like you could check which one you were. But now, because they bunched it all together to discriminate against people, it will say, do you have autism? Do you have ADHD? Do you have Down syndrome? And then it will say, do you have HIV? Which is just like on another level of let's stigmatize these people and discriminate against them, right? So, for that reason, I no longer self identify that I have a disability, even though I have the ADHD. I also, for my own good, I never take a job that I think is going to be like where I'm going to have to memorize too much, or that I can't do, um, or that I just think like it's too much responsibility for my ADHD, basically, because anything that has to do with like um, filling out things and there's like a lot of liability, I will be like, I don't know, because I have to be very strict with myself, and I already am. But just because of the fact that I can be in one part of the house, and if I walk to the different part of the house, I will completely forget why I walked to that different part of the house. So I'm just like, I don't want to risk it. I just don't want to risk like my memory, because with ADHD, it's your memory. So for that reason, I'm very careful what kind of jobs I take. And um, yeah, so for that reason, I always try to not sign myself up for something that might be, you know, too much for me. So uh, I didn't self identify because now, like I said, they changed that definition and they threw it in there. And in that definition, you can't just go check the box for the one you have, and they've bunched it. So it will say like, do you have uh, uh, a disability? And then it will say disability is categorized by, and then it'll say like um, ADHD cognitive disability. Then it will say like this. It'll say um, autism spectrum. Um, it'll say Asperger's. It'll say um, what's the other one? Down syndrome. Like all of these that it gives you, and then it starts naming. It'll say like lupus. Then it'll say herpes. Then it'll say HIV. So it just throws everybody with any of these conditions into the same umbrella, and it will ask you to self identify, and then it shares that with Indeed. And so there you go. Your algorithm bias is born, and not just algorithm bias, but stigma on top of, you know, discrimination, and also robbing somebody of the opportunity to actually work when they might only have, you know, maybe ADHD, or maybe they only have like a autism, or maybe they are Down syndrome, whatever it may be. And now you've thrown them into this category of, this terrible illness, all these other illnesses which they don't have, but because now they're, as always, they get more creative in their ways to hate people. But yes, so the fifth one was security and privacy. So I don't know what's going on with Indeed, but after I created the new account, it stopped sending me these emails out of nowhere that it was sending me, where it wanted me to further self-identify. So then they wanted to have my social security number. It wanted to have my first and last name, my birthday, my address, and ask me all these details of like whether I had had food stamps or whatever. And I had to check yes or no. So even if you checked no, they were still collecting your information. And I don't know why Indeed doesn't address any of this, or at least if you know that your system is that bugged, go through and delete everybody's accounts, because the next time that people log in, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to create new accounts, right? So at that point, it's like, you know, or at least go through and don't allow people to log in to the old accounts, so that they go through and create a new email, a new whatever, and create a new account within the system, instead of just letting them fall victim to these things. Faster employer responses. Some employers may skip older and inactive accounts. Mine was never inactive, because even when I was working fast food, I was like applying everywhere. Even when I was at working as a tutor, I was applying everywhere, and I was applying absolutely everywhere, because it wasn't that my jobs were bad or anything. It was just that I just wanted a better pay at the time. And also, I wanted a job that paid me more, like faster. Instead of, if, like, for example, when I worked as a tutor, um, they were so slow at getting your money to you that sometimes I would go without pay for 59 days. Then they didn't do withholdings right. Then when I went to go file my taxes, um, literally for every $2 that I earned in that job, I paid $1 back to the government. So 50% of everything that I had made, for the whole year working in education, I paid back to the government, which I am still shocked. But because I mean, it's shocking when you literally are giving, you know, so much money back to the government, and they make you send it to them in this, what was it called? Oh my god, I forget this thing. It's money order. I had to send it to them in this money order to this PO box, and I don't know. I was like, am I being scammed now? Because it seems like when you have any type, I don't know. In California, I feel like if you have a rich zip code, or you look rich, anything like that, the mechanics, doctors, dentists, I noticed this happens to, my mom a lot, you know, um, they just all try to screw people over, and me too. When I had an electric car, it was like they just thought I had money. I don't know what, like, they thought I was just made of money or something. And yeah, it's very hard, because even reporting something, like, it's just very hard for anybody to want to do their job, especially here in California, it seems. But uh the last one is number 7. Easier to organize, multiple job paths. So yes, when I logged in there, instead of me selecting like what I thought that, like I might get hired in, the AI told me to select the job that I would want to have right now. That if I could get hired anywhere right now, where would I want to work? That I know that I'm capable of doing that job. And I went through and I selected remote work. And then I filled out about, like, I don't know, maybe 90% of that section. And then when it came to the, like, race and all that stuff that it was trying to ask me, I just hit back. And so in that system, it only took that I wanted this type of job, and then it generated out all of the posts that had to do with that job. And now I have an interview tomorrow. So, darling, don't give up. Don't give up. Will persistence, my dears. If you know anything about me, I have a card deck that I made. I don't make money off of it, because with these laws here in California, they've stopped paying out anything, at least to us little creators. Um, but yeah, so it is still out there. My deck is still out there. I still put it out there, and it's a great deck, and it has one of the words on it is will persistence. And I believe that people need to see that you need to persist. Will persistence is very important. The path is existing, the way is existing, the solution is existing, the door will open. You must continue to believe, you must continue to press on, you must continue to have faith. Something good will happen. But if you give up, you can't give up. You have to get up and keep trying. That's the hardest thing you're ever going to learn in life. Honestly, I can tell you because I believe that I'm an old lady. You know, in my mind I'm an old lady. And I can tell you this. The hardest thing you ever have to learn in life is to get back up and try again. Keep trying. And sometimes it's timing. Sometimes God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, will close the doors or will distract you in some kind of way. But you just have to remember that even if the plan changes, your goals should never change. So I'm going to continue to, encourage you, be your cheerleader out here, and keep telling you guys this because it's true. It's true and it works, and you can find a new path. And if I had these results, you can have better results because I know the other day I talked to somebody who works with people who are struggling right now. There's a lot of people struggling because they either got on unemployment, they used up all the unemployment, and because Indeed is doing this to people, they have not been able to get a job. And they were saying the same story. They had the same thing going on with this platform. And it's not right. It's not right that that's happening to them, but at the same time, you have to find a way. And if a platform is screwing up and everything, I also went and got on different platforms, but I don't know why the other platforms, it's like nobody seems to really call you that quickly or anything from the other platforms. And it's like, I know that Indeed can work. And so I was like determined to find a solution to something that I knew works. So thank you so much for watching and take care of yourselves. Don't give up. Persist, 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 persist. This economy will turn around. Whatever's happening here, redundant um, things that the news say, it is irrelevant to what we will achieve. We will figure it out. We will. Okay. Uh, we're going to get there. It's not going to take us that long. We're not going to be still working on that. Okay, we're going to figure it out. And yes, we are Team Universe here, collective. All right, anyways, I love you guys and take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves and uplift others. You're a motivator and uplifter, okay? If you burn those bridges, well, then that's that. Just remember, build new ones with better people. Okay? Stay connected. Stay connected to the people that uplift you, that bring you up, that you uplift. And if they show you who they are, then just know that's what you're dealing with. But don't ever give up on the fact that there's plenty of people, billions of people out here. One of them is going to connect with you. One of them is going to be your person. One of them is going to be your acquired taste, and you're going to be their acquired taste. Okay, darling. Well, I'm going now. Bye.